Now playing the Dame Taft Movie Show.
Anybody got a smoke?
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screw.
Thank you, Auntie. Yes, it is the Dame Taft Movie Show. I am Screw. Please welcome the star of the show, filmmaker and author, Harrison Smith, a.k.a. H-Bomb. H-Bomb. Good evening. No audio. Speak again.
I said H-Bomb.
Ah, there you are. Okay, good. I heard that time.
H.
All right.
Boys, oh boys, we have a guest today.
Company. Yeah, I love company.
It's Mr. Faversham.
Mr. F.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good to see you, sir. I haven't seen you in hours.
It seems like it, yeah.
Oh,
Hours instead of days.
right. Hours will seem like, what was the line from Star Trek 2? Hours will seem like days.
Hours will seem like days. That was their code.
Let's
Subtle. So, boy, Khan, the genius, isn't going to figure that out.
What a dummy. All right, let's watch a movie here.
Proceed to Precinct 9, Division 13, and take over from Captain Gordon.
But they're closing it down. Nothing for me to do there except stare at the packing crates.
You want to be a hero your first night out, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
Now, you should always tell the truth. Even a little white lie sometimes trip a man up. He don't stand up as good as he used to.
All you do is answer the telephone and send over any strays. There may be some who still think this is a police station.
First time I ever saw a preacher, he said to me, son, there's something strange about you. You got something to do with death.
Feel free to compliment me on my seamless editing. Assault on Precinct 13, 1976. Mr. Faversham, H didn't know we were going to cover this. We're springing this on him, but I'll bet you're familiar with it, right, H?
Yes, I've definitely seen it. Yeah.
Mr. Faversham, I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a fan of the motion picture, sir?
Very much. Yeah, I like this as a nice, beautiful exploitation movie. Very much an overachiever in my view. Better than it has any right to be.
That's a good way to describe it. Okay, let's watch a couple more scenes. Break it up a little bit.
Come on, I'll give you my money. Just don't hurt me. Please. Please.
Look at the dismount after he shoots. Look at the dismount. Watch. Look at that. Beautiful. Frank Doubleday. I had to stop. I love this guy.
Yeah.
And of course, brilliant that Carpenter brought him back to play Romero in Escape from New York, who Kurt Russell described as setting the tone for the movie when he appears. And I couldn't agree more. There he is in Escape from New York. Frank Doubleday as Romero. Here's another quick slide there. I love this guy. I guess he's got a lot of TV credits and stuff. Not enough movies. This guy should have been another Michael Biehn, in my opinion, particularly from these two roles. He pops up at the beginning of Broadcast News, which is a big movie, a small role though. And he shows up in that John McTiernan movie starring Pierce Brosnan, Nomads. McTiernan's first movie, Nomads. Have either of you guys seen Nomads?
I did see Nomads a long time ago.
Yeah, same. Yeah, a long time ago. On video when it came.
Yep.
To
Yeah.
It was video. Yep.
It's a curious movie. It's interesting. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, but that's kind of like The Keep, in that it's got a lot going for it, but it misses the mark. And we might talk about that. But he's in that movie. Has no lines. I saw him on an episode of T.J. Hooker one time. A lot of TV credits. He's no longer with us. I think he passed away in 2018. No lines. Very menacing.
The girl that they shot, she was a Disney kid.
Kim Richards from Escape from Witch Mountain, Return to Witch Mountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a TV Nanny and the Professor, right?
Nanny and the Professor, yes.
That's how I remember her. Yeah. I mean, this is brutal. Just.
Yeah.
I mean, just. Oof.
It was. Pulls no punches. Daring. I call it.
Very, very much so.
Commendably so. And why not? It's a movie. There's a bad guys with guns. They're not messing around. Kim Richards also in the car with her little sister, I believe it's Kyle Richards, who was in John Carpenter's, what is it, H? Huh? Next movie, Halloween.
Which one was Kyle?
She was the little girl.
She was Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah, that's it.
She was Lindsay, yes.
Kyle Richards, yeah. So one sister in this movie and the next one. Yeah, good of you to mention Kim Richards. I am a fan. Any Tough Turf fans here?
Tough Turf, oh God.
Let's go. Look at those bell bottoms. Look at them. Ah, beautiful. Look at those shoes. Let's turn back the clock. Frank is like a robot. There's a zombie. Carpenter acknowledges the references to Night of the Living Dead. Which is funny because Night of the Living Dead, Romero acknowledges the inspiration he got from I Am Legend. And then Night of the Living Dead spawns this, and it just goes on and on, right? Everybody inspires everybody.
Everybody inspires everybody. I got to make a comment here.
Yes, sir.
For the sound design, nice job with the bullets, and just they sound real. Like, they sound like a good hit. Usually in these kind of films with this kind of budget, they're, like you said, on our last episode,
Yeah,
it's kind of
library sounds, the same ones over and over.
Yeah, they did a nice job, I thought, with the striking of those bullets.
Yeah, the silencer followed by that thud. It sounds like something hit the side of beef.
Yeah.
There are so many bullet hits in the movie that someone had to say at one point, we got to vary these a little bit.
Yeah.
You can only get away with the same sound so often. You know who was involved with the sound design in this movie is your pal, H-Bomb, Mr. Tommy
Lee Wallace.
Yeah.
My
I just watched this movie today, and that latest disc has another commentary besides the Carpenter one that I didn't know about, featuring Tommy Wallace.
He has a great voice.
Yeah. Turns out he's the guy on KAB and The Fog.
Yep.
And the guy doing the TV announcements in Halloween.
And Halloween 3 also as well. He's the guy does the, come around, it's almost time, kids.
Yeah.
It's almost time.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, he's on the soundtrack album.
Mr. Faversham, are you a fan of Halloween 3?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I like it because I didn't like Halloween 2.
Same here.
Right.
I thought Halloween 3 was exactly what that series should have morphed into. Just a different, without calling it Halloween.
Yep.
It should have just been a new, either multi-story movie or just a new thing every year. And from the producer of Halloween. That's all you had to say.
Yep.
Would have been so great, but instead it's just another Friday the 13th with a better score.
Yeah. That's about it.
Darwin Jostin as Napoleon Wilson, of course, a forebear to Snake Plissken. It's already been said over and over here. Really cool. And what kid doesn't love this? Just blasting away with a shotgun. That's why people love this movie. Just it really captures your imagination. What would it be like to be in a siege like that with really cool dialogue?
Yeah, the shotgun toss, particularly right out of Rio Bravo.
Another thing that Carpenter freely acknowledges.
Oh yeah, well he credits himself in this movie as John T.
Chance is the editor. Yeah,
yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and I've watched Rio Bravo. You really had to be. You really had to be there. I don't appreciate those films as much as the people of that era did. I try to put myself in their place. They're well-made movies and they're entertaining and stuff. I don't know. What about you, Mr. Faversham? You love them all the way through? Is that?
I enjoy most of what people consider the classic Westerns.
Howard Hawks.
I do. I enjoy them, recognizing that they don't speak to any modern sensibility really, other than as a well put together movie. Rio Bravo in particular is almost a hangout movie. It takes a long time to get rolling.
That's
when it gets
true.
rolling, it's good, but it's all full of just characters talking to each other. Walter Brennan and Dean Martin interacting. That's what the movie's about. It's not a tighter movie like The Searchers. It's much more relaxed than that kind of movie.
Not enough Angie Dickinson. It's funny that
she is in her underwear for most of it.
Oh man, she's so God. Funny you mentioned The Searchers. A cast member, the villain from that movie, is in this movie.
That's right.
Henry Brandon, who played Scar, the engine in The Searchers. He's the desk sergeant here. I don't have any clips of him. Sorry, H-Bomb. I want to get your thoughts on what I just asked Mr. Faversham about. How do you feel about those classic Westerns? Any of them grab you? Did you grow up watching them?
I didn't really grow up watching them. I was a monster kid, although I watched the spaghetti Westerns. And when I got to college, we used to do Western like Saturday or Western Sunday, sometimes in the afternoon. But I mean, I've seen Rio Bravo, if you count High Noon as a Western and things like that. But I loved Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. And,
oh yeah, me too. Much more. Yeah. Well, it's got that great cast.
And Mrs. Miller. I've seen all those, so I've enjoyed them. I even enjoyed Silverado. I saw that in theaters. I saw Rider in theaters, and
they came out the same year.
85.
Silverado is an interesting movie. It's really just a big homage.
Yeah,
I can't really sink my teeth into it because it's just like a love letter to these movies this guy grew up on. Would you agree, Mr. Faversham?
Absolutely. I mean, it's
good movie,
enjoyable, but
it's enjoyable.
It helps if you've seen a lot of those 60s Westerns. It really does help. But it's a lot of fun. Again, a good good cast of modern day guys in it. Most of them able to pull off the gunplay.
Yeah.
Looked like they knew what they were doing.
I forgot that Klaus Kinski did a bunch of those spaghetti Westerns as well too.
He's in for a few dollars more. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in for a few dollars more. Yeah, but that just I remembered that suddenly. I'm like, wow, Klaus Kinski was in those things too.
All those Europeans, huh?
They moved the cars. Can't believe it. They parked them where they were before. Why'd they do that?
From a distance, the street looks normal. Like nothing happened.
What I want to know is, what started all of this?
You came running in here 30 minutes ago.
Now, all of this about one man?
The great Tony Burton. He had a good year, 1976. He was in a pretty big movie that got nominated for Best Picture. Rocky won Best Picture, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony Burton. I love Tony Burton. Of course, my favorite Tony Burton role is as Larry Durker. What movie, H-Bomb?
I don't know.
One of your favorites. The Shining.
Which one was he?
He rented a Snowcat to Scatman.
Oh, he rented it to Scatman.
Here's the gas station.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Place it.
H-Bomb hates The Shining.
I don't
Mr.
hate The
Faversham.
Shining. I don't hate The
Yes,
Shining.
you do.
I think The Shining is extremely overrated. I think it's well made. And very atmospheric, and sometimes indeed very creepy. But it's not the book. And I walked into it as a boy expecting the book, and got my ass handed to me by a bunch of my friends that I dragged along to go see this thing. And
again with your friends, these are the same assholes you went to see Scanners with, and they didn't dig it.
They didn't dig it.
Mr. Faversham, rate H-Bomb's friends on a scale of 1 to 5.
Probably as bad as some of mine from that time.
Mr. Faversham, The Shining, book versus movie, go.
Two different animals.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book until after I saw the movie, so my memory of it is I like the movie and I like the book. And I said, as I was reading, I'm like, okay, I understand why he didn't do this. He had to condense it down to at least a reasonable running time, and he couldn't do the animals. I understood that. Two different. I just consider. He even said he wanted the plot of the book. He didn't want anything else really in the book. He wanted that plot.
Who, Kubrick?
Yeah, that's
okay.
He pared it down to what he wanted to do about an alcoholic family, basically. But he used the plot of the book to do it. So it was. I found that interesting. But yeah, it's not a fair. I shouldn't say it's not a fair comparison, because it is. It's from the book, and it's. I could understand a fan of the book not liking that movie at all, because it doesn't give you that. The book was very creepy when I read it, so the film doesn't give you all of that. I grant that. Again, I don't rate it as high as Kubrick's other movies.
Right.
Yeah. The first 2/3 after Scatman Crothers gets whacked, there's not much to build up to. But what came before is heavy enough, and it's inspired so many ripoffs that right there tells you that it's just a giant, a monster. Well, it's a classic. But I agree with H-Bomb about Nicholson was miscast. If they had just got someone else like Michael Moriarty, or I don't know, take your pick.
Yeah, Moriarty would have been good.
How about Nick Nolte? He just came off the deep. How about Nick Nolte?
I don't know. He's too big of a dude. Like, Michael Moriarty is spot on.
Yeah, you like that?
I do.
Do you have another casting choice in mind for Jack Torrance in The Shining? You get to remake them.
I'd go with Warren Beatty. Put in Warren Beatty.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting one.
Interesting.
Have him dress himself down a little bit.
He could
easily do an alcoholic bit. He's got that face for it. He could easily pull that off.
That's a really good one.
Too handsome, though. Handsome.
He's got to have the 3-day beard all the time. He can't have Warren Beatty hair, but he could never have made the movie. He wouldn't have given up a year and a half of his life to make that movie.
Right.
So that wasn't going to happen. Even if they'd wanted him, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, at least he didn't get Ryan O'Neal. Okay. But anyway, getting back to Tony Burton real quick.
Yeah.
He's very important to this movie because the other characters are kind of stoic, they're heroic and everything, and he's like the audience. And that's a really nice touch and a really nice piece of casting, this character and this actor.
I mean, this movie, I saw it way back. I didn't see it in 76.
Of course
I saw
not.
it somewhere in the 80s.
Me too.
However, you can see where Carpenter's career is going to go. There's so many elements of not only just Escape from New York, but The Thing as well in here too. And you get that feel of it as well. The paranoia, the closed in. You can see why Carpenter will expand, on a number of those themes in his subsequent films.
Yeah, man, he was so hot for the first 6 or 7 movies. He just never matched that again. But hey, that's better than some filmmakers get.
Well, I remember Tommy Lee Wallace told me a story when they screened The Fog for embassy executives for the suits.
He talked about that on the commentary of this disc that I listened to today. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, no, and he just said that the suits were not pleased with the cut, and when the lights came up, he said he never forgot how John handled it. John just got up and he rolled up his sleeves and he turned around to everybody and said, "Well, we got work to do," and he went in and he fixed it. And that's just great. And Tommy said he handled a lot of it because then John went off on his honeymoon while they did a lot of the insert shots and the attack on the church and things like that. But anyway, this is Assault on Precinct 13 is kind of like, the match right at the end of the fuse for when Carpenter's going to blow up. And you just see what a skilled craftsman and storyteller he was. And like even again, like you said in the beginning, killing Kim Richardson with the gun, just shooting her dead, shooting a child point blank range, just blowing her away. Like that was ballsy, and that was Carpenter. I always liked when Carpenter took chances, and I always enjoyed this film. I always thought it was good.
Well, I'm very partial to it. There's very little I can criticize. I'm not objective, but let's watch a quick couple more here.
How did you come to be named Napoleon Wilson?
I'll tell you sometime.
When will you tell me?
Maybe in a minute or two.
Miss.
Unrequited love. You have a moment there.
You're pretty fancy, Wilson.
I have moments.
There it is.
And then they walk, and then out of frame, just like at the end of Escape from New York.
Escape from New York.
Walk by. I was going to talk about the Tarantino connection, of course. And From Dusk Till Dawn, character is wearing a shirt that says Precinct 13. And also Tarantino's playing one of the Gecko brothers when he gets shot through the hand. He says a line from this movie that the girl says when she gets shot. It hurts like a son of a bitch. And also that line we just saw right there, I have moments. Vincent Vega says that in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
He's not the only one inspired by this movie. I'm sure Rodriguez is too. Okay. The guy who's handing over the station there, I think we saw him briefly packing up the shotguns. A guy named James Jeter. I didn't know his name till now, but he's been in tons of stuff. He was Wicker Man and Cool Hand Luke, one of the guards in the cage there. Okay. But just tons of credits. Guy with the big face there.
Yeah.
I think he's in Black Sunday too. The guy gets blasted by the darts during the test. The bomb test.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think that is him.
James Jeter. See, I didn't know his name until I looked it up today. Finally got to know his name. Okay, yeah, good cast. No one sucks.
No one sucks.
The beautiful 2.39 Panavision. Okay, so I used to have a movie book back during the early days of VHS, and I would look up movies going, I'd like to see it, And at that time, unless it was going to pop up out of nowhere on TV or show up at a reissue movie theater, and just at that time, all these movies coming out on VHS. And I looked up this movie. It's like, what? Carpenter did a movie before Halloween?
Right.
And they're referencing Escape from New York? And I go to my video store, and damn it, they don't have this movie that I never heard of before. Now, it is a terrible VHS. The pan and scan on this, you get about 3/5 of the image, if that. The whole character's cut out. So dark that those scenes at the end in the basement, you can't see what's going on. Of course, I pirated it and watched it over and over and over again. And then later on, I pirated a reissue VHS, thinking, this will be better. And all I did is move the image to the other side so that the other side of the image was cut off. I'm like, damn it, you couldn't see Frank Doubleday during the Cholo scene. And finally in the 90s, that beautiful Laserdisc came out, and finally get to see it in its widescreen glory and with a Carpenter commentary on top of it all. I'm telling you, those were the days.
Well, speaking of those were the days, like when you're watching even the clips of this right here, it's such a different feeling to watch these clips, and even, the full motion picture, but you get the feel very clearly that this is a film that was crafted. It was worked on. And it wasn't just, studio assembly line.
It wasn't.
This was hewn, is what it was.
It wasn't slapdash. It was meticulous. There was a lot of these were skilled performers. They were young. They were largely inexperienced, but they'd already done work. Deborah Hill's in there, Tommy Wallace, and all the Carpenter's crew, and of course a lot of actors he'd wind up working with later. The gang is interracial, just like in The Warriors. So that's science fiction for you. The interracial gang. Yeah, it's just a cool movie.
It is a cool movie.
What do you think of the score, Mr. Faversham?
I love it. I mean, total minimalist electronic
That's
score.
the word. That's the word.
It's got the beat that keeps the movie going. This
It works.
This was one I looked for a soundtrack for. I didn't see this movie until like I think 1979 on 16 millimeter scope, which was nice.
Oh wow!
And
where?
A collector friend of mine had it. He showed it to me once.
Oh,
yeah.
you bastard!
He was trying to sell it to me. I just didn't have the money he wanted for it.
Wow.
I was 17. I didn't have that kind of money.
No.
And, but I went looking for the soundtrack album, and all the record stores say there isn't one. There no such thing exists. A year later, a friend of mine says, "Oh, I saw it in a store way up in Paramus, New Jersey." And I'm like, "All right." Drove up there. It was a 12-inch single that was a remix of the movie. Like, they'd done like a disco mix of the main title of the movie. I'm like, I drove 30 miles and this is the soundtrack. No, it was like a year or two later. It finally came out on a CD.
I've got the Halloween score on a CD, and yeah, they put in a beat in that piano score, boom, 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 that wasn't there in the original score. Well, I don't want to get too much into the weeds. It's interesting though that around this time, I think even like on the laser disc of The Fog, you could get the score isolated, so you could you could listen to just the score, and I think they still do that on some releases sometimes, not always. Yeah, that's all I got in the movie. Sorry, I can't be more critical, viewers. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Any final thoughts, gentlemen, before we move forward? We got a bonus coming up here.
No. Again, it's a great film to start with Carpenter because it's a sign of things to come. That's really what it was, and like you said, it was leading into Carpenter's heyday.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a movie with no fat on it.
Right,
It's
right.
92 minutes, 93 minutes, but unlike a lot of exploitation movies, there's nothing wasted in any of the movie. It's everything propels the movie forward. And I think that's probably the best part about the movie is it's got this propulsion to get to the end. It doesn't let up. And if you engage with the movie, you can't help but wonder what's going to happen because he's not afraid to kill off characters in this movie.
Right.
So it gives you that as an audience, that's what I mean. That's what I meant by overachieving. This is not a movie that is just, you said it, it's not slapdash. It wasn't thrown together. Wasn't a studio throwing, hey, we got $500,000, make a movie. This is a guy saying, this is going to be my calling card, and I'm going to spend as much time as I need to get. I mean, he actually shot it in Panavision, not just in generic scope either. He shot.
Oh, it makes such a difference, except for being murdered on TV. Now that we're no longer bound by those shackles, it means so much to me. The Broad is good. The actress's name is Lori Zimmer. I guess she quit acting, but her figure fills out that sweater nice, and she does a good kind of noir chick. There's no bad performances. I got except for some of the secondary guys playing the cops and everything. They're
I was
pretty
gonna
bad.
say the minor players are typical, but everybody who actually has dialogue is pretty good.
Yeah.
Last thing I almost forgot to mention, the 2005 remake.
There's a reason why you forgot.
Yeah, I skipped it. I said no. I'm just not going to bother.
Yeah, same here. I didn't bother to watch the remake. I have no interest.
Made me angry. Ugh. Just again, it strayed so far from it. It's just why even call it the same title? Right. It's a different movie, and they had a lot of big names in the cast. Ethan Hawke, who I can't stand, it was terrible. Leguizamo, just thoroughly annoying around this time. The way he ruined Land of the Dead, also. But you had good actors in there too, like Dennehy. And I think Gabriel Byrne was in that also.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've never revisited it. I don't want to think about it. Okay, we got more fun here. You're going to love this.
Enjoy the show.
Your rules are really beginning to annoy me.
We ran a psycho profile on him using a database of 5 million sociopathic personalities. He hit the bottom of the curve.
Catches on quick, doesn't she? town loves a winner. Just say we play a little Bangkok rules. Nobody draws until this hits the ground. You ready? Draw. You got a problem with that?
Mr. Faversham, Escape from L.A., 1996, I believe it was. Your thoughts?
Disappointing.
Yep.
Yes. Well, can't say more than that. H-bomb, go ahead.
I think that is the absolute colossal word right there. I left the theater. My brother and I were big Escape from New York fans. We went to go see it together with our wives, and we both walked out saying just total disappointment, a bad remake of the original. And it just went nowhere. It was cheesy.
Yeah.
No, total disappointment.
Campy and jokey. Man, it took him too long to come out with it too. But man, when I first saw the photos of like this poster here with Kurt and that leather on that bike and USA Today, I had to take the paper to the restroom with me and take care of myself, figuratively speaking. Not really, but I would. I wouldn't be ashamed if I had, but I was just so excited. And yeah, I saw it opening night too. I'll give you some of my thoughts on terrible villain, lame villain, nothing villain.
Awful villain. Awful.
Cuervo Jones.
Yep, Cuervo Jones.
Not necessarily the actor's performance, just a lousy, poorly conceived villain. Kurt is gorgeous. He was way more pumped up a couple years later in Soldier, though, which is an interesting movie. If not for Kurt, I probably wouldn't like it, but it's probably my favorite.
I'll interrupt here to say that the one takeaway that I thought was pretty decent, and it's only on screen for a minute or two, was the Bruce Campbell plastic surgeon scene.
Which went by too quickly and wasn't well thought out. He shows up and he's dispatched. It's like, why even go through all that makeup? And yeah, that was lame too. They kind of gave him a little James Bond dart in his thing, which is the kind of thing you think of after you write the scene and you're like, okay, how do we get him out of it? Oh, I know. How about he has a little dart in his zipper there? Okay, that's good. Yeah, bad writing. A waste of Bruce Campbell. Kind of a funny idea. Now, yeah, it is way too jokey and silly, too self-aware. The
surfing scene in the beginning is just horrendous. It's horrendous.
And good cast too. I mean, I like Peter Fonda and some of these other guys. Robert Carradine's in there. Buscemi, I guess he's this film's version of Cabby. You know, the guy keeps popping up in his car.
Yeah.
The first film, okay, this was not hellish enough. The first film was hellish. No one was on the street. They were all pretty much sentenced to death. I guess they still dropped in food for them, but heaven forbid they got a staph infection or something. They're all on their own there. All the other convicts want to take what they got, and so they're hiding from each other. It's just like they're all doomed. The atmosphere of the original film. So this film has none of that. Everyone's just out partying at night, and it's L.A. and everyone's out on the street just yucking it up. So yeah, the tone's all wrong.
It's like Batman, the TV series.
Not too far off. And I don't know if it's a good comparison, but remember when Sam Raimi did Evil Dead 2 and when Tobe Hooper did Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Some people are disappointed that it wasn't the same movie, but they figured, well, I can't top that brilliant film I did. Why not take it in a different direction? And it turned out to be kind of a comedic direction. I find those two films that I just mentioned successful on their own merits, different movies, interesting experiments. Some people were disappointed. And this film, well, yeah, it takes it into a jokey direction, but doesn't work. What do you think of that comparison, Mr. Faversham?
Just very good. It's the problem with this movie is it doesn't. The jokiness isn't backed up by anything. It's as if they said, "Hey, we can get Kurt back. I can write a script. We can film in L.A. We can cast it with a lot of popular people. Throw some hard rock on the trailers." In the movie and see what happens, and we have a hit. And it just those other two movies are I think he pegged them exactly how they were made. There's no way Hooper was going to make Chainsaw again, and no way was Raimi going to make that first Evil Dead again.
I think they made the right decision.
Yeah, they had to, because
they weren't going to top. They weren't going to top those two movies if they'd have gone the same direction. They weren't going to top them.
No, because by that time they weren't the same guy. Both of them, especially Hooper. Especially Hooper was not the same director by that time. That's
for sure. Yeah, it's like there's okay. Let's see how many silly LA ideas we can come up with. Just throw everything out there. There was no one there to say, okay, come on, let's kind of reel it in a little bit. And Kurt's credited as a co-writer and co-producer on the thing. He will, what a wasted opportunity, because Kurt liked the character. We liked the character. He didn't have to go rescuing the president or the president's daughter in every bloody movie. Like I said, Die Hard, the same bloody movie over and over. He's a war hero turned criminal in the future. You could have him doing pretty much anything, and I would have been interested. Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's a war hero, and he's in the future. There's a lot of potential there. He could have been a serialized character, is my point.
Yeah, he could have been used in a lot of different plots than just the same movie, and I mean, building up to that, that nihilistic ending of the movie, which the movie doesn't earn it. Doesn't earn that ending.
Not at all.
Yeah, and the president, Donald Pleasance, in Escape from New York, is just like, it wasn't stated whether he was a Democrat or Republican. He's just like this effete, ineffectual guy here.
He was
doesn't care about. Yeah, doesn't care about anybody. But this one gets more political. They got Cliff Robertson as the president. He's a right-wing Christian. So they're trying to make a political statement. All it does is divide an audience. It's not going to make people go along with your political persuasion. And it's distracting. It distracts from the fantasy of it all. I don't need that shit. Good cast. I mean, good cast wasted.
Yeah.
We mentioned Peter Fonda. Stacy Keach. I always like Stacy Keach. You got the Pam Grier in there.
Pam Grier
playing a tranny. What is she? Carjack Malone. Okay, it doesn't work. Even the score is bad. A lot more money. The special effects for them. Look how imaginative the special effects were in Escape from New York, and how many of them were successful and convincing on a minuscule budget.
Even slightly stylized to the point where you accept it.
Yeah.
And then in this, you got the second worst water CGI ever after Die Another Day. Tough to have topped that with, and that was 5 years later. and it was, or even 5 years later, and it was worse than what was in Escape from L.A. Especially because they had a lot more money, and it was terrible. I mean, I remember L.A. was just, everybody was like looking at each other like, wait, what's going on here? Because it just looked cheap.
Yeah, it did.
Last collaboration between Kurt and John Carpenter. How unfortunate.
I do wish they had made their Western that they wanted to make, because Carpenter obviously wanted to make a Western at some point, and he never did. And I think he'd have made a great Western. I think he'd have turned one in. Again, it would have been very referential to the older pictures that he loved, but I wanted to see him do that. I thought he would have been good at it.
Well, at least we have those two classics they did together, and Big Trouble in Little China's fun in its own way.
Yeah.
You got Kurt playing John Wayne in that one.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, H-Bomb, before we wrap it up here?
No, just it was very excited. I heard it was going into production, and was totally deflated when I left.
Yeah, that's a good description. Deflated. Yeah.
I'm ending the show on a bummer. Now I'm bummed out. And I just watched this today. I had enough time to watch it, and
I haven't seen it since '96.
I'd say that's the same. I have no desire to revisit it.
My opinion hasn't changed.
Watch Harrison Smith's movie Slow Burn free on Rad TV.
Okay, don't let me forget to say the sign off this episode. Say it with me, boys. Farewell and adieu. Adieu.
Adieu.
You fair Spanish ladies.
Good luck. Look at that. 2 cops wishing me luck. I'm doomed.
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screw.
Beautiful. That's it. We did a good one, huh?
Yeah, it was
Very good. That was good. I like the bonus segment.
Yeah.